video, we are going to be talking about piece movement, how to identify a square, special moves, check and checkmate. So these are 4 things. So let me start with piece movement first. So the first piece we are going to talk about is the pawn. So this is the pawn. This 8 things that you see is the pawn. So pawns generally move 1 square at a time, but if it's their first move, they can move 2 squares like this. Like let's say black does this. Now you see it won't let me move 2 squares, only 1. I know this is blundering pawn, they can just take it. Anyway, let's go back. But one thing interesting about pawn is that they don't take something that's in front of them. They take diagonally. Like if your opponent does this, which is the Scandinavian, trying to attack this pawn, we do this. Now, see, our pawn did not take on what's in front of it. It took diagonally. Now, let's go back to the starting position. The next piece that we are going to be talking about is the knight. So knights are basically like horses. Few people like to call them horses for fun. So basically knight move in L shape. So this knight moves here to attack the pawn now. So I'm not teaching openings now, don't be confused. So knight moves in a L shape. See? It moves in a L shape. So this pawn and this knight are attacking this pawn. So now the pawn can take it diagonally, right? And now the knight can take it in a L shape. And now this knight can take it back in a L shape. So the next piece we are going to be talking about is the queen. Wait. I should not do the queen first. You guys will get confused. So I'll talk about the bishop. So I'm just moving the pawn so I can show you how the bishops move. So the bishops move diagonally like this. You can now after this, let's just say black moves the knight. He's trying to attack the pawn, but we are going to ignore that for now. So the bishop can move diagonally. It can go here. It can in this position. The position. It can move here. It can do a lot of things. So bishops move diagonally. So I have a thing. This is for slightly intermediate players. If your opponent, you shall sometimes, I'm just saying sometimes you might try to place this bishop on g2. So I think that must mean, one second, let me delete the moves. Instead of doing this, we do this. If black replies with something like this, we can put this here. Because now if he moves his bishop, we can do this. We can do something like this, double attacking the pawn. But now if he moves the pawn, this is like beginner games make this kind of blunder, attacking the knight. But what they don't realize is that they opened up a diagonal for the bishop. So we can do this. Now there is absolutely no way to save the rook. You can take this, but this is gone. Now you can take this also, this is gone. So you see, we are 3 points up. Okay, so now I hope you understood how the bishop moves. Now what I want to talk about is the rook. So well, the rook kind of moves like horizontally and vertically, something like this. If your opponent does this, I'll bring it to the middle. See, the rook can go over here, his rook can come over here, my rook can come over here. He can take, I can go here. Now see, this means his rook can capture my rook. My rook is gone. So this is how rooks move. Well, this is not very usual in games, but few very much beginner players sometimes do this. Okay, now I want to talk about something dangerous. Can you guess what it is? And I'm talking about the queen. Let's just get the queens out. See, the queens are like rooks plus bishops. See, now the queen can move here and I can take this like a bishop. My queen can take this like a bishop. Well, I am just showing this for example. Now you see, my queen can fly over the board, capture it. If my opponent did this for example, if he was not smart and he did this, my queen can fly like a bishop and capture it, threatening a checkmate. I'll explain what a checkmate is later. So, this is how the queen moves. Now, coming to the last piece, last but not the least, the most important piece, the king. Well, like most of you must be thinking, the king is not a strong piece. Let me get the king out. Let's get the king in the middle. So, the king can move anywhere. It can move anywhere. It can move front, back, diagonally, but only one square. So, let's say for example, it's white and that white king does this and black king does this, and you do this. Now if black king does this, he gives a check, discovered check. He gives a check to us. I didn't realize I was doing that, but anyway, he gives a check. Let's just ignore this. And now you see, so we have many squares for running. Now if you are wondering why we do not have other two squares for running away, because if we go there, our king will still remain under attack by the bishop. Remember? Or did you skip that part of the video? So the king can move anywhere king can move anywhere. And the knights move like this, the queen like this, the king like this, the bishops like this, the knights like this, attacking the queen. Anyway, done. I'm just doing some time pass. So, now, as you all know how the pieces move, the next thing is how to find out which square is it moving to. Like we can always not be like the bishop moves to this square, because after some time even our opponent will get confused. So squares have names. So the horizontal ones are called ranks and the vertical ones are called files. So you see the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. These are called files. This here to here is the A file. Here to here is the B file. Here to here is the C file. Here to here is the D file. Here to here is the E file. Here to here is the F file. Here to here is the G file. Here to here is the H file. And you must see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of this. So, how do we know? If you can see, this pawn is in the E file and in the second rank. So that means this pawn is on E2. Just like that, if we move this here, we see it's on the E file, it's on the 4th rank. So that means it's an E4. Yes, so now this pawn moves here. It's attacking this pawn. Now, how many of you seeing this video can tell me which square did this pawn move to? If you know the answer, comment it. I'll tell the answer at the last of the video. You know what? I'll tell it now only. I'll give you 3 more seconds. Okay, and the answer is B5. Okay, anyway, so that's how you find out squares. Now, I also want to include I just want to include extra notation. I want to give extra information. Why am I saying notation? Actually, the topic is notation. So, there is notation of chess. Yes. So, rook has a capital R and the square it is moving to. Knight has a capital N and the square it is moving to. Bishop has a capital B and the square it is moving to. Queen has a capital Q and the square it is moving to. King has a capital K and the square it is moving to. Pawns, you don't need to write P or anything. Just write the square they are moving to. So, for example, this will be D3. Yes, so this is how to identify squares. Now, I want to show you something called a special moves. Well, they're kind of special, not exactly special. Let's delete all this first. So, the first special move I want to talk about is castling. So, let's just say both sides do all this. This position comes in the board. This is the position that comes in the board. Now here, white can do something which might look like a glitch at first, but it is not. You move 2 pieces at the same time and it's called castling. So it's really useful to bring the rooks into the game. Now black can also castle in this position. But if you need to castle, there can be no pieces blocking the way. Like now, if I took this, he took back, I took this, and he did here, and we just did this, and he did, sorry, what did I just do? Delete the move. He does something like, he was able to castle. If we go here, we can take, if we take, I'm just trying to make up a fake setup where I can show when not to castle. Okay, this is the position when you cannot castle. I know this is a blunder the knight can take. I know. But now, if you cannot castle, because while castling the bishop is attacking in the middle way. And one more thing. Let's imagine the bishop is not here. We take the bishop. We take the bishop. It's black turn. We do this. I'm just doing it for time pass. We do this. He takes back. Fine. But now you see we cannot castle because the rook has moved. So if the rook has moved, we cannot castle. If the king has moved, we cannot castle. We can do this. And he can just go back. We can just do his. Now you see, whatever he does, we're supposed to, we are able to castle this side because this rook has not moved. That's why there are 2 rooks, right? So, I want to show you a thing. This way that we castled is called long castle. And the other way that we had castled, when the king is on g1 and the rook is on f1, is called short castle. So, this was about the first special move, castling. Now the second special move I want to talk about is promotion. So I'm just gonna make a fake setup. So now you see the pawn is about to reach the last rank of the board, right? Let's see. He captured the knight. Oh no! And we have a queen. The promotion happens when our pawn reaches to the last rank of the board. One first rank as black if you're playing as black, and 8th rank if you're playing as white. So let's just kill this queen of the board. So that's all. You can promote to a queen, king, rook, and bishop and knight. I mean, sorry. Just forget what I said. You can promote to a queen, you can promote to a bishop, you can promote to a rook, you can promote to a knight. That's all. You can't promote to a queen. That would be 100% illegal. So that's all I want to say about promotion. Next, I want to talk is about end pass. End pass is when like e4, e5, here, this. So now, white can do this. This might look like a software glitch or something, but it's not. Yeah, it's called end pass and can only happen for in the 5th rank for white and 4th rank for black. So that's what happens, and you can only do it if a pawn moves 2 squares, and if you want to end pass, you just have to end pass right after the pawn is moved. Let's just say something like f5 here. See, now you can't end pass. You can just do this. Just leave it. So this is all I have to say about special moves. So now coming to the last point, check and checkmate. So let's just say we have a position. I'm just setting up a position. Well, this is a checkmate because see, the king cannot move anywhere. The king cannot go to e1 because of the bishop. The king cannot go to d2 because of the knight. The king cannot go to e3 because of the bishop, and the king cannot go to f3 because of the other bishop. And obviously the king can't go to d1 and capture its own piece. That would be illegal and black would immediately win. So this is a checkmate. So to define checkmate, I would say giving a supported check, but your opponent cannot block it, capture the piece which is checking it, or escape. So it's a checkmate. But check is opposite of checkmate. The game continues, you don't win. In this position, this is a check. Because the king still has a move to go. It's not like the king can still move, right? And it's not a checkmate. So the game continues. So that's all I need to say for this video. If you want to learn more about these things, I'll teach you. Please tell it in the comments. And I have an announcement video coming up in the next video, which is going to be really special. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like, please subscribe to the channel.